I spent a fortnight in South America, visiting Chile, Argentina, and Brazil, and crossing the continent from Chile's capital, Santiago, on the west coast, to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil on the east, passing through Argentina in the center. I'll mention briefly the many interesting things I did and saw, and then conclude by referring to two very special experiences which were the highlights of the trip. Come with me as we fly from Heathrow to Sao Paulo in Brazil and take a second plane across the Andes Mountains to Santiago. Our stay in Chile was short, the main activities being a walking tour of Santiago and a visit to a winery to taste the world-famous Chilean wine. On to Buenos Aires by coach through the Andes, and in the Argentinian capital, our party visited the very ornate cathedral, the gaily painted shopping area of La Boca, the cemetery where the vault of the popular political figure Eva Perón is located, a ranch or estancia where we saw beautiful Argentinian horses and rode in a wagon pulled by two horses, and a restaurant with a theatre stage on which 6 couples performed the Argentine tango. This is a very fast, dramatic dance, and it was both amazing and exciting to witness it in real life, and not as a feature of Strictly Come Dancing. A picture of the dance, I assume, is now on the screen. An internal flight took us to our last port of call, Brazil's former capital, Rio de Janeiro. There we drove along its famous beaches, Ipanema and Copacabana, took a cable car to the top of Sugarloaf Mountain, which overlooks Rio's harbour, and at 10 p.m. set out to view the Rio Carnival, dressed in the most flamboyant way possible. I'm wearing the garlands which I wore at the carnival. I sat in a huge 68,000-seater stadium and watched as gigantic floats and gaily dressed singers and dancers passed by. And now I want to refer to those two very special experiences. The first was to visit by cog railway and escalator the statue of Christ the Redeemer, which is a representation of Christ 98 feet high, on a pedestal 8 feet high, his arms spread 92 feet wide, placed on the top of the Corcovado mountain overlooking Rio de Janeiro. This was a most impressive statue, made of reinforced concrete and soapstone, and it reminds us of Christ as the world's Redeemer. The only appropriate verse of Scripture I can quote is from the book of Job. I know that my Redeemer liveth. A picture of the statue is visible now, I presume. The other significant experience was to visit the Ignacio Falls on the Ignacio River, where Argentina Brazil and Paraguay meet. The falls are 2.5 miles wide, consist of over 270 separate cascades, and some are as high as 269 feet. I was able to view the falls from the Argentine side and the Brazil side, and I can truly say that to do so was a very wonderful experience. I was totally stunned by the beauty, the force, and the roar of these fantastic waterfalls, and knew that for me it was also a spiritual experience, seeing the magnificence of God's creation writ large before my eyes. All I could do was reverently whisper, "My Lord and my God." God's waterfalls were certainly roaring, as we are told in Psalm 42. On our last day in Rio, the day after the carnival, I walked on the Copacabana beach and later joined the others in the party for a farewell dinner in our Rio restaurant. Next day, we flew back from Rio to London. For me, this was a wonderful and never-to-be-forgotten trip, and I hope you have enjoyed hearing about it as much as I've enjoyed telling you about it. My thanks to Mark and Alan for assistance with the photographs, and also to Gareth for special music during the offering, which I'm sure you will recognize.